Hey everyone, welcome to this week's episode of Fish. Dan and Andy here.
Hello.
And we just want to quickly let you know before we launch into this week's episode about this week's guest.
Yes, it's our friend and yours, Cariad Lloyd.
Yeah.
She's brilliant. She's been on loads of times before. She's always fantastic. Her fact this week is a really good one. And it's a brilliantly entertaining show. I've just listened to it and I've written it up for our archive.
Have you?
So you're in for a treat, I can tell you that much.
Oh, well, there we go. Yeah. And also, you should know that Cariad is not only a comedian, not only a podcaster, she's also an author.
That's right. Her new book is called Lydia Marmalade and the Christmas Wish. So it's a children's book. It's really funny. It's charming. It's got a little Jane Austen-y flavour to it. A little Regency tinge. That's a terrible phrase, but it's really funny. It's charming. It's about a girl called Lydia Marmalade, obviously. There's an amusing sausage dog. It's basically everything you could want for a kind of fun, classic Christmassy romp.
Yeah.
Lydia Marmalade and the Christmas Wish.
Perfect Christmas book. It's out now. And if you love books generally and you like being part of book clubs, Sarah Pascoe and Cariad Lloyd have a podcast. It's brilliant. It's called Sarah and Cariad's Weirdos Book Club.
Weirdos, good name for a podcast.
Yep, shame it's not been used before.
Yeah.
And there's plenty of episodes. One of your favorite authors, Mick Herron, Andy, was a guest recently talking about his Slow Horses series.
Yeah.
It's great. Check it out, but get Cariad's book.
And one final bit of business before we start. You can get ad-free episodes of this show, No Such Thing as a Fish. You can get bonus material. You can get extra mad, crazy, fun stuff like shout-outs on the show and video things and longer versions of the main show. All of that is available at our secret, super fantastic members club, Club Fish. You can join it by going to patreon.com/no such thing as a fish. It's been so much fun. We've been making so much extra stuff for it over the last month. It's been great and we're really enjoying it. And if you would like to support the show, it is a fantastic way of doing so.
That's right. So just head to patreon.com/no such thing as a fish. You can find all the details there. But for now, on with the show.
On with the show.
自動でお風呂を沸かします。お風呂の線は来ましたか？自動でお風呂をお風呂の線は
Hello and welcome to another episode of No Such Thing as a Fish, a weekly podcast coming to you from the QI offices in Holborn. My name is Dan Schreiber. I am sitting here with James Harkin, Andrew Hunter-Murray, and Cariad Lloyd. And once again, we have gathered around the microphones with our 4 favorite facts from the last 7 days. And in no particular order, here we go. Starting with fact number 1, and that is Cariad.
My fact is that Joseph Bazalgette, the famous engineer who designed London sewers, who was inspired by the Great Stink, his great-great-grandson was the lead guitarist of the band The Vapors, who were most famous for their single Turning Japanese.
Yes.
Brilliant.
Now, this is it's a very famous song. A lot of people might know it.
Yep.
We just discovered someone in the QI office does not know it, who's in their late 20s.
I think
would
it's an
say.
age thing, because
Yeah.
I recently was telling people this fact, and a lot of people were like, what song? And I was like, come on, Turning Japanese. And they just stare at you.
Really?
Yeah, I do think it's an age thing, because it came out in 1980.
Yeah,
so
it's an oldie.
It's an oldie.
But a goodie.
It's a effing
It's a
classic.
banger.
It's a
Isn't it?
banger.
It's a brilliant song.
The reason I know this is I know Ed Bazalgette.
No.
Clang.
Yes, Clang. Wow. Clang, because he left the Vapors and became a TV director. And he has directed Doctor Who, loads of different things. And I worked with him very recently on excellent Channel 5 police drama, Ellis, starring Sharon D. Clarke and Andrew Gower.
Wow,
At
cool.
what stage in your relationship did the great-great-grandfather come out?
So I am of a mind like yourself. I managed to keep it together for 5 days filming in Belfast. But the whole time I was like, I'm Bazalgette, must be a Bazalgette, must be related. That's such an unusual surname, can't be. And then we went for a drink in Belfast, beautiful, beautiful Belfast, after we'd finished our episode. And I think he was probably 2 pints of Guinness down. I was probably 1 rum and ginger. And I was like, so are you related to the Bazalgettes? And he was like, oh, yeah. And then some young actors near me were like, who? Didn't know. Didn't
What?
know.
Whoa.
Oh
Yeah.
my God.
And they're classic sewers.
They're
from the
classic
1860s, but I think anyone should know them.
Yeah,
it's like the song
yeah.
Turning Japanese.
Oh, God,
You just think,
imagine being Bazalgette and you don't know my song, you don't know my
great-grandmother.
family sewers.
Yeah.
This
so
is horrible.
Ed is now a very successful television director. And yeah, so then he said, oh, yes, I am related to that Bazalgette. And then someone else or maybe he just came out with it. I can't remember now because we were in a pub in Belfast. Just said, Oh yeah, and I was in the band The Vapors, and I initially didn't recognise the name until he said Turning Japanese.
Right.
And I was like,
What,
oh my god!
And what's curious as well is the Vapors, the name, you would think
Comes
might have
from
been
the- yeah.
Ed's suggestion, but it's not.
They all smoke e-cigarettes.
That's exactly right.
It was before its time.
Yeah.
Ahead of the game. Yeah, because
It's-
Ed was the guitarist.
Yeah.
and the main songwriter was someone else, wasn't it? I think.
Is it
But that makes sense.
Felton.
Fenton, yeah.
If it had been Ed Bazalgette who came up with the name, he probably would have come up with the cholera epidemics
Yes.
of the 1850s.
Yeah,
There's-
and
I
they're still
swear-
going. Should say, do you know this? The Vapors are still. They reformed.
They.
Ed was in it for a bit, and now he's gone off to TV directing.
How often do you think they play the song "Turning Japanese" in an average set?
I think it's quite a lot. Yeah, I do think it's
I
quite a
once
lot.
went to watch Junior Senior. Just after their song "Move Your Feet" had come out and been a big hit.
Oh, yeah.
And they played it 4 times.
Right.
That's yeah.
And they could have played it 5 and I would have loved it.
Yeah. And it is a bit being your own tribute act, isn't it?
Yeah.
Turning Japanese was like a global hit
Oh,
as well.
yeah.
It was
It
huge,
was.
and it was their biggest hit.
I like that they knew it at the time as well. So they had it ready and they went, we should hold this back.
Yes.
This is going to be a big song. And so they released it as a second single as opposed to a first single from their album.
Because they didn't want to be one-hit wonders.
Yeah,
But then, yeah, sort of.
they are.
Yeah.
And that's
Oh,
no
sorry,
bad
Ed.
thing.
Sorry, yeah, there's no bad
That's
thing.
no bad thing.
That's no bad thing. And the former drummer, Howard Smith, was recently elected mayor of Guildford.
No.
Pretty cool.
I thought that
Clang.
was another. Yeah.
Clang.
I met the mayor of Guildford. No, I haven't. I haven't met the mayor of Guildford. Sorry. But I just thought.
The one other thing about Ed Bazalgette is, as you say, he was a TV director, but one of the things he directed on his IMDb is 7 Wonders of the Industrial World in 2003, where Robert Lindsay looked at London's sewers.
What a
Whoa.
compelling combination.
Yeah.
That's great.
When do you think he bought? Did you think he went to the production company with it, or do you think they said?
I think
Ed, do you
because
wanna-
you know what, there are like 8 episodes in that series,
Yeah.
and he only directed one of them, and it was about the sewers.
They thought, let's get him in.
We'd like you to do one about the phone network, please. No, you sure? And that's good because Robert Lindsay, as star of My Family, has been in a lot of old shit. And
Wowzers.
I love My Family.
Ouchie.
I just couldn't resist. I saw the opening. I'm
Yeah, it was
sorry.
there. Yeah. Sometimes you got to throw your heroes under the bus for the joke.
It's really
Yeah.
interesting because it's normally Dan who says, "I love my family, being such a wife guy.
Brilliant.
I do.
Let's go into sewers.
Yes.
Yeah, I said to Andy, I kind of thought that you guys would have sewers sewn up, so I thought I'd lead with more Vapors stuff. So
Yeah.
I thought that somebody who's
so
literally
excited. I'm so
exploding next to
excited.
me to talk about Bazalgette.
Have you ever been in the sewers, Andy?
No, I never have. I've been to the church where the Bazalgette mausoleum is, but I didn't know at the time that the mausoleum's there, and I'm absolutely gutted. And I'm going to have to go back.
Oh, you're going to have to go back. You should go soon because it's in trouble.
Is it?
Yeah.
It's being refurbished. Don't
It's
worry.
being refurbished.
They've got a heritage grant. But I'm all over this now.
Ironically, water is destroying it. It's not as well
It'd be
contained.
more ironic
funny.
if shit was destroying it, I think, than water.
Very good
But
point.
it is underground, you know.
Oh, okay.
And he was responsible for a lot of underground stuff, not just the sewers, also a bit of the district line was
Yeah.
part of the tunnel. Let's get into it.
Let's get into it.
Bazalgette.
He was a bit forgotten for a while. I think he's not now. But I think there's one Bazalgette family because it's such an odd surname. There's one
Yes.
tiny place in France called La Bazalgette. And the Bazalgette family came from France. Weirdly, they came via America. It was a strange route. But they migrated to Britain in, I think, the early 19th century.
And one person who was a few generations above Joseph was the tailor of Prince of Wales, George.
Oh,
Yes.
Right.
wow.
And he was the first British
region.
Bazalgette.
Yeah.
And he was the one who...
Would you like a new suit? Would you like a new suit? I really think so. That's what it was. I can imagine it now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was the grandfather of Joseph.
Wow.
Bazalgette.
What a family.
What a
It's a
family.
stunning family.
Yeah.
And then there was Joseph William, who we think might have been in the Battle of Trafalgar in 1805.
It's
'cause he-
amazing.
he
It's
was-
just like
yeah.
nepotism has been going through the ages of the
Yeah.
UK.
Wow, it's like England is built on a feudal system.
stop
That's
it.
weird,
Stop
isn't
it. These
if
guys
your
are-
grandfather was talented, somehow you managed to still be fine.
It's amazing how they're all so talented.
Yeah.
Just despite
It's hard.
everything.
French immigrants. I will say that.
But yeah,
Yeah,
but when?
Their new arrivals.
Like,
yeah,
it's
300
like-
years ago. Anyway, look. Anyway, I think this Joseph was a stunning man.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Mr. Sewers is great.
Yeah, basically, what he did, Joseph Bazalgette, he was born in 1819. He is responsible more than most other people, or maybe the biggest individual contribution to London turning from a medieval city
Yes.
into a modern one.
Christopher Wren is the other one, I guess.
Yeah, but what Bazalgette was doing was, so before Bazalgette, the the city was open sewers, cesspools in people's back gardens. You would have night soil men turning up to take away the poo. I mean, just
Right.
And that led to cholera. Like it was cholera city.
The Thames was disgusting.
The
wasn't
Thames
it?
was
It
sort of like,
absolutely
basically just put
It's
all the poo
healthier
in the
now,
Thames.
isn't it, than it was then? Yeah.
So unimaginably healthier. So basically, you put all the poo in the Thames. The Thames obviously flows out to sea. That broadly worked as a
But it's
solution.
a tidal river.
But it's a tidal river, and it's so there would just be this mass in the water of poo that broadly is making its way out to sea, but sometimes the tide
Would come back in.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
and that normally is okay because it's normally in the water. Obviously, it stinks, and obviously, you cannot drink from the river.
Yeah.
But the main problem comes when the river level goes down a bit. And
So
in
in
the
the summer,
summer of 1858 was unbelievably hot and dry, and the water level dropped, and there were piles of this
Oh, God.
matter on the banks of the Thames that were about 6 feet deep. Anyone who smelt it at the time just wrote these accounts saying, I cannot describe the smell. I will never forget the smell as long as I live.
Yeah,
it
right.
was awful, and people were dying of cholera.
Yeah. So he then set in motion the building of the sewers.
Yeah.
Did a little thing where he sort of calculated that they should be double the size that they were planning on building, which means that we're largely using a lot of them 150
Yeah,
years
we're still
later,
using
right? We're
loads,
still
aren't we?
using
Yeah.
them. But also, I mean, just on a tourist level, if you're walking around London, you're kind of walking largely in Bazalgette's London.
Yeah.
All of the embankments.
The embankment's amazing that it just wasn't, the Thames was so much wider.
Yeah, but those are basically can be described as sewer caps. They are where the sewers are underneath. That was never there. So if you ever walk along the Thames, that's Bazalgette, basically.
It's like 50 acres of new London that he
Yeah.
created. And that thing about him doubling the capacity, some sources say he worked out the pooage of an average Londoner generously and then doubled it. And then some sources say he doubled it again. Because he said, look, we're only going to do this.
I know Londoners. They're going to be pooing more than this, I tell you. We'll need triple this.
Exactly. And he basically said, look, we cannot do this a second time. We have to do it once.
Yeah.
And that meant, right, that as the population rose, you had either double or quadruple the capacity, which meant that when high-rise buildings started being built and the pooage, overall pooage,
yes.
did increase massively.
A lot, yeah.
Like there is an alternate world in which he didn't double the capacity and in which 1960s London was overflowing with raw sewage. Like swinging London would have just smelt. Like it would have been the worst. It would have been a nightmare.
Yeah.
But because of his solution, it lasted until today. And now that we've just built this huge new sewer, the Thames Tideway Tunnel, which is designed to sort of solve the creaking of the system, which he built. Yeah.
He's buried in Wimbledon, I think.
In St Mary's Church.
Yes.
And the mausoleum is stunning.
sorry, most people won't know what St. Mary's. It's like you like everyone knows what St. Mary's Church is.
Sorry.
I've lived in London for 15 years. I don't know what that is.
I used to live in Wimbledon. Sorry, yeah. It's where they do. It's where they do the overflow parking for the tennis tournament.
Right. Sorry to get.
Oh, you mean opposite the co-op? Right. Okay. You know.
There's no co-op in Wimbledon Village, James. It's near the second Waitrose. But that church the mausoleum is really interesting because it wasn't built for him. Did you see this?
I did, yeah.
It was built for a slave owner called John Anthony Rucker.
Oh, no.
Yeah, who died in 1804. And then his family did not want to be in the mausoleum with him for whatever reason. So it's just...
Figured out he was a terrible slave
know.
owner.
Yeah.
Mother Rucker. And then his family didn't want to be in there. So there was just almost empty, just one grave filled. So the Bazalgettes bought the mausoleum.
Wow.
But he is still in there.
Oh, Rucker's still in there?
Yeah. So it's Rucker and then half a dozen Bazalgettes around him.
Wow, yeah, there's main Bazalgette and then I think 5 children of his.
And Mrs. Bazalgette.
And Mrs. Bazalgette.
Yeah, yeah.
So he can fit 9, I read. So what are we up to? 7, 8, one more space.
Ed could go in that mausoleum, couldn't he? I mean,
Let's
God
warn him
forbid.
now.
But then there's also Peter, who's his other.
Yes,
great
the other
friend.
famous Bazalgette who's a television producer.
Yeah, also works
Yeah.
in TV and made Big Brother or something.
He
Yes,
he
his
was
company
the
created-
creative head, I believe, of Endemol. And
Yeah.
so he's the one who they brought in Big Brother because that was an international format. But really, the British one is what made it go global. And Deal or No Deal as well. He's got his name
Sorry,
too.
just what I'm thinking is obviously he works in formatting. They've got one space in the Bazalgette mausoleum.
Oh, wow, yeah.
And all these Bazalgettes who might
You
go
decide.
in. It's like reverse Deal or No Deal because it's who goes in the box.
This is Davina. I'm going into the big Bazalgette mausoleum. I'm coming in. Oh my
That's
God.
so good.
Let's ask Ed if he wants to direct it and Robert Lindsay wants to host it. I think that would work.
I should just say, Robert Lindsay's a great
Call
actor.
it My Family.
and friend. Or no. Or,
Rucker.
and yeah. Stop the podcast.
Stop the podcast.
Hey everyone, this week's episode of Fish is sponsored by Saily.
Yes, Saily is the way that you can get an eSIM, an affordable, simple, reliable data plan in over 200 destinations. It's a way of getting and staying online when you're away, and it's incredibly useful.
So useful if you've ever returned home with a ginormous phone bill because you didn't get any kind of local deal and you suddenly find yourself having made a huge number of international calls and now you're freaking out and now you're broke. That's just a little insight into my previous holidays. This is the thing that stops all of that because you download it onto your phone once. It's got 24/7 support and, as Andy says, available in over 200 different locations around the world. It is a must.
It's great. 200 is more than countries there are in the UN. That's how comprehensive Saily's coverage is. It genuinely is brilliant. You can protect your privacy, you can avoid scams, and you avoid, as Dan says, and as I've had, that terrible feeling of getting home from a holiday, knowing you were a bit silly with your phone use, and then just waiting for the bill, thinking how bad is it going to be. Saily takes away all of that stress, and if you want to try it, you can get 15% off if you download Saily and use the code FISH at checkout.
That's right. So download the Saily app, use the offer code FISH at checkout, and you will get 15% off that deal. Do it if you're going overseas.
All right, let's voyage back to the podcast.
On with the show. On with the show. Okay, it is time for fact number 2, and that is my fact. My fact this week is that this year, 26 new bacteria species were discovered in a room specifically designed to not have any bacteria in them.
Brilliant.
So I got this story off a pop science writer. He's one of my favorite pop science writers, Dr. Robin George Andrews. He wrote it for National Geographic, and this is a story about the clean rooms that they have at NASA. So we build all of these rocket instruments that are going to Mars, all the rovers and so forth, in these specific rooms because you don't want to bring any life to Mars.
I just love the way he said we. As if
Yeah.
we're all involved in it. I was like, wow, did we? I feel great with that.
It sounded like you were talking about the podcast.
Yeah.
Okay, me. Sorry,
Yeah.
I am heavily
You
involved.
have to own it. You
Yeah.
did it. Be proud.
So basically, the idea of the clean rooms is that humans can't allow any form of life onto Mars because if we're looking for life there and we bring it there, we won't be able to tell if it was there or if it was from us. So these rooms are made very specifically to make sure that the smallest of bacteria gets killed off. And they have various different ways that they do that. They fill the room with ultraviolet lights. They have radioactive beams going through. They have prolonged periods of dry heating, and they get it to above water's boiling point, so it would kill anything that would be on the surface. They do basically everything they can to make sure nothing goes up.
Vinegar, that's quite good. Cleaning surfaces.
Yeah.
Dettol. Yeah, that's
Dettol.
good. Dettol's good.
That only kills 99.9% of the bacteria.
So that's the opening
You need to use
wash.
another brand, I think, to get that last bit. And if you just pour them into a bucket together, done.
I'm going to set up a bleach company that kills 0.001% of bacteria.
Oh, I feel like I need it. I feel like we need it, you know?
So good. Yeah, so, and a while ago, they found a bacteria that did survive and did possibly go into space on various missions. So it is possible that right now on Mars, there is a bacteria there that they didn't detect. So life might be on Mars right now.
That'd be good.
But what I loved was weren't they saying that it's not that this bacteria are extremely good at, like, they're not like so small they couldn't find them. This bacteria was playing dead.
That's the thing. This is what's
This
nuts.
bacteria knew to hide.
Come on.
You know, like when the Velociraptor figures out the door, like that's
Yes.
what we've got, right? The bacteria was like, guys, shh, 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 shh. They're just passing. Everyone lie down.
Yeah, it's basically...
Go.
Like the toys in Toy Story.
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
he's gone. Go.
It's learned to sort of camouflage
Yeah,
itself. It goes into a hibernation that makes it seem as if it's dead. No, these are the...
Because normally they're bright red, aren't they? And you say, oh,
Guys, put the camo on. Put
Who
the
left the
camo on. Get down.
bacteria?
Behind the bush. Okay, we'll be in Mars in 14 years. We just got to keep quiet.
what I find really interesting is that because the rooms are cleaned so much, the microbes that are found there, it's almost like we are putting them through an accelerated breeding program to make sure they can withstand cleaning, drying, UV treatment, and lack of food.
Yeah.
And, all the sterilization methods we're using, actually we're creating super bacteria.
But what do they like swab the surfaces to see if it's there? I guess they must do, right?
Yes, I think, and the ones they find, the really weird thing is sometimes they're found only in clean rooms. So in 2013,
Yeah.
scientists
Right.
found a new microbe which had only been found in spacecraft clean rooms, one in Florida and one in French Guiana.
Yeah, was that the one where they found that they were actually eating the cleaning products that they were using?
Yeah, that's
yum.
right.
Amazing.
This Dettol is delicious. Yum, yum. Isn't that mad that they found them in 2 different places? So then that's proof that it's us doing this then.
It's certainly a heavy implication,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah. 'Cause, like,
But that's right. They swab. James saying about swabbing. They do swab certain places, and then they put them into solutions and test them, and they're like, "Oh my god, yeah, this thing is still alive." That's how they've been
agar.
discovering them. Yeah,
Bacteria
Oh, yeah.
and being discovered and so on.
yeah.
They've recently found, we've spoken a bit about the largest single-celled organisms, which is kind of algae, I think, and they get really big. But in 2022, the world's largest bacterium was found, and it's the size of an eyelash. It's 5,000 times bigger than the previous largest known bacterium.
Right.
You can pick it up with a pair of tweezers.
What?
It's crazy. It's called Theomargarita magnifica.
I've ordered that from Pizza Express.
Disappointingly small.
Yeah.
Disappointingly small. Like, very big for a bacterium.
Tiny pizza.
Tiny. Yeah.
Waiter, there's a hair in my pizza. Actually,
Don't tell everyone.
Apparently, it's the equivalent of us meeting a human being who's as tall as Mount Everest.
What?
That's how big it is in comparison to not a normal
to a
bacterium.
normal bacteria,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Isn't that? I mean,
Crazy.
That's funny in the clean room when you go hide, and Mount Everest dude's leaning against the walls in awkward ways.
Let me give you one more story about bacteria.
Oh, okay.
Okay, this starts off very bad, but it does have a happy ending. Okay. So there was a woman in 1984. She was in America, and she was studying gonorrhea. And she was driving home from work, and she picked up her son on the way, who was like 3 years old, and then left the son in the car while she went to the shops to buy some stuff.
Oh, no.
The gonorrhea was in a petri dish
No.
that contained something called chocolate agar, which is like a
Like,
type of jelly
yeah,
that you use
sweet.
to grow. It's not sweet, but you grow bacteria on it, but it looks a bit like chocolate.
oh no.
Anyway, the child ate the agar
Yummy gonorrhea, Mom.
and tested positive for gonorrhea 2 days later.
Oh, my God.
And so they took them to the Centers of Disease Control and told them what had happened. And the happy ending is that the child was cured because they gave them antibiotics mixed in with ice cream. So he got some ice cream in the end.
And some chocolate and ice cream. What a win for this kid. Oh, good Lord.
Imagine being that guy when they get much older and being like trying to like, STD chat and being like, I have had gonorrhea. It was a long time ago.
I just think don't make your agar jelly look like ice cream.
There are a few
Yeah.
different barriers that have been
Yeah.
gone through there in the it's a
very-
real
that's-
get me Hennemore situation. Now Hennemore, I've left the gonorrhea in this thing.
Labeled chocolate.
It's very 80s parenting as well. It's very like
Yeah.
left in the car
Lord.
with
Yeah.
all the chemicals. Should be all right.
Lord. Well, it's
Right.
like the marshmallow test, except the marshmallows all contain gonorrhea. It's really interesting. This weirdly sort of ties back a bit to the previous fact because bacteria were first discovered in the 17th century, and we think maybe in the 1640s. Athanasius Kircher. He wrote that vinegar and milk abound with an innumerable multitude of worms. So that might have been him observing with a primitive microscope the microscopic life. But basically, in 1900, so even 200 years after bacteria were discovered, the leading causes of death were influenza, tuberculosis, and gastroenteritis, right? These are all microorganism based. In 2000, 100 years later, the main causes of death were heart disease, cancer, and stroke.
Wow.
It's just a massive shift in
Yeah.
what does eventually
Get you.
end our lives. Yeah. It was so bacterial before.
Back in the day,
Yeah, and before things like penicillin as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Penicillin, I always think as one of those moments that we're so lucky happened because there was a real sliding doors moment there. Because Alexander Fleming would come back from holiday, so he was sitting inside his lab and he was going over all the Petri dishes that he had left before going off on a holiday. So
Chocolate. Just have the chocolate.
And out of nowhere, sort of as he's looking, a man called Merlin pops his head round the door. And they used to be colleagues together. And he was looking for a new job, I believe. And he sort of said, "Hey, Fleming." And had he said, "Let's go to the pub," which is why he was kind of coming in to have a chat with him and take him away from the work. He would have not have seen what he saw in the Petri dish in that moment. So Merlin said, no, you keep looking. And that was the moment when he went, that's funny. And he saw what would become the mold.
The bacteria had disappeared and that some mold had presumably killed it, and that was penicillin.
And that was penicillin.
How much do we believe that, Andy?
Well, then the other thing he hasn't said is that then Merlin handed him a sword, which he pulled out of the stone, and he became the rightful king of England. And that, I think that's a pretty big part of the penicillin journey.
I don't know why I left that out. Yeah.
My grandpa was called Herbert Mervyn, but he told me as a child that his middle name was Merlin. That's because we were descended as Welsh people from Merlin, and I was about 25 before, when you say a fact out loud to someone.
So funny.
And I was like, oh yeah, because we're descended from Merlin. Oh no, he lied.
But so do we think that that's questionable if Merlin came in or not?
Well, obviously Fleming was already a bacteriologist, and and he had made this discovery of lysozyme, which was a thing which it did inhibit bacterial growth, but against a few small numbers of bacteria. So it wasn't a game changer. He found that in about 1921 or 2. And then several years later, he left some Staphylococcus bacteria, a culture, in the lab. And then he got back and he saw they'd been contaminated by a fungus which had destroyed the colonies of staph around it. So that was an accident, but obviously he was very well placed to discover it. There is this story that it's only because he was in a rifle club at his local medical school. He was in medical school just doing general medicine, and the team captain really wanted to keep him in the team and said, well, you'll stay in the team if you join the research department at St Mary's Hospital Medical School in Paddington. And that's why he became a bacteriologist. He's also written up on collegiatewaterpolo.org as the most significant water polo player of all time.
Get out.
It's because...
Who are the others? Isn't it just him?
He played water polo at age 16 for the London Scottish Regiment because he was in the army as a young man. And this is a great website, collegiatewaterpolo.org, which basically re-centers the universe around water polo.
It's so funny.
I love it.
That's very good.
And even after he discovered it, it wasn't rolled out until 15 years later.
Well, because, so there was that thing where it didn't yield as much penicillin as they need, that particular mold that they were... So there became a global hunt in order to try and find a different mold that produced penicillin. And I guess it's part, there's a lot of legendary tales about this stuff, but the story of Moldy Mary, who's the person who often gets attributed to being the person.
I think I've heard that on a QI.
There was a lab in Illinois that was trying to find a new mold, and they sent basically a calling out to soldiers around the world who were in the field trying to find mold and send it back to this lab. Moldy Mary, the story of her, was a lab assistant working there. And one day when she was coming into work, she passed a grocery store outside and she was buying a melon, and she saw an interesting melon in the batch that had some mold on it. And she thought, that looks like the mold we might be looking for.
I still remember the day in QI when someone came into the office. I think it was probably Justin Pollard and told us about Moldy Mary's melons. And we were just like, okay, well, that's 20 minutes of material right there.
The episode writes itself. Yeah. Also, isn't it funny? There's that other Mary, TB Mary, Moldy Mary.
Oh, yeah.
Typhoid Mary. I'm like, don't call your kid Mary is the thing I'm getting, the vibe I'm getting here.
One thing about the olden days is a lot of people called their kids Mary.
Yes.
We all have relatively young kids, so know how hard it is to get them to brush their teeth.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
So here's
bribery,
something...
begging, crying, just open, just let me, awful.
Well, here's something we can say to them that might help them to do it. If you brush your teeth properly, your mouth becomes full of nice bacteria, whereas if you don't, it's full of evil bacteria.
Great.
You don't get rid of bacteria.
James, come round to my house, please. Engage my 5-year-old son with that argument. Let's see how far you can
I think you're raising your child a bit differently to how maybe Cariad and I are. That's not going to do much for
They do
mine.
not give a shit about the good bacteria or the nice bacteria.
Here's what I do. If you clean your teeth, I'm going to give you £5.
I say, if everyone's brushed their teeth, we put the telly on. That's the deal. That's the deal. No one gets telly till the teeth
I
are
brush my
brushed.
teeth with Yakult to get the friendly bacteria on there. Am I doing the right thing?
Yeah, that's right.
So the idea is that if you put a load of bacteria together in a petri dish, and some are nice and some are nasty,
You got a party.
and the nasty ones, they love a party, and they're going to kill all the nice ones, right? And that works in pretty much all situations. But if you keep cleaning somewhere, then everyone's energy is used up by the fact that they keep getting killed by the fact that they're being cleaned, and it suddenly becomes no use anymore to attack the other bacteria.
Because they're fighting a bigger problem.
Exactly that. And so what you find is that the more that people brush their teeth, the more the bacteria that's in your mouth are the ones that don't attack the other bacteria.
Ooh.
And there's lots of links, isn't there, to like plaque, bacteria in gums and dementia.
Yeah, heart disease as well.
Yeah. Like flossing is one of the biggest things you can do because they found this bacteria in the plaque. And then I haven't read it, I can't remember. But there's some link to then finding the mold in the brain. And so one of the biggest like causes they think is in between the
Oh
teeth.
my God.
Is interdental brushing okay?
Yes, no, that's as good
good.
as a floss, yeah.
Oh, great.
Because I use them as well.
In other words, that's £5 well spent, Dan. That's what we're saying.
Yeah.
I need to start cleaning my own teeth again. I stopped when I moved out of home and that money dried up. Okay, it's time for fact number 3, and that is James.
Okay, my fact this week is that Byron's Don Juan, which Goethe called a work of boundless genius, was inspired by a pantomime.
Wow. 2 wows. One for the fact, the other for Don Juan.
How do you
I thought
pronounce
it was Don Juan.
I say Don Juan.
Juan. Don
Well,
Juan.
if you read the poem, you would get very confused by some of the rhymes.
Really? Does it fail?
Therein lies a tale. Yeah. So Don
yeah.
Juan is a story, isn't it? A sort of
Yeah.
classic. Is it Spanish?
Spanish, yeah.
He's a nobleman.
He's a
who-
Lothario.
He's a dirty boy.
Yeah, Don Juan.
And the devil drags him to hell at
Yeah.
the end. Sorry, spoiler for Don Juan. There.
Does he?
Yeah, sorry.
Oh,
Don
Andy.
Giovanni, Mozart opera.
Right.
Yeah.
Same story.
There's a Johnny Depp film, which Brian Adams did the song for, called Have You Ever Really Loved a Woman?
We've all got.
I was going to say Moliere, but yeah.
Don Juan.
Yeah.
Have you ever really ever loved a woman?
Oh, I love that song.
Cariad.
Oh, my
I've
goodness.
held back until now, but the number of copyright breaches you've made this show that are going to be a nightmare to edit around.
Sorry,
Anyway.
PRS.
All we have to do is review it. That was beautiful singing, Cariad.
Thank you so
No,
much.
it's fine.
Okay.
I call him Donny Johnny.
Oh, that's what Byron called him.
Yeah, I really like that. In
Donny
letters,
Johnny.
it was found that he was referring to him as Donny Johnny. Now, this is not a Byron story, is it? This is
Well-
a story that goes further than...
Yeah, it goes all the way back, but Byron did his own version, which was actually quite different than Don Juan. But in his version, he said he was inspired by a Baudelaire's version of Shadwell's Libertine. And Shadwell's Libertine was a pantomime. In those days, pantomime wasn't he's behind you and stuff. There was all sorts of different things. They could be marionettes. They're basically very popular plays that happened in the West End of London. And this one was made by Charles Anthony Delpini at the Royal Theatre. Byron saw it and thought, I'm going to write something that slags off all my mates, but with this theme. So this is what Don Juan is, basically.
Do we know if it was? Did you say? Do we know if it was panto or a puppet show or a?
Well, I've really tried to find out. It was definitely this was a pantomime,
Okay.
but some pantomimes did have marionettes in, and I think this one did. And I think it was also based a little bit on Punch and Judy, because that was very popular at the time as well.
Right. It sounds like the poem itself, which is seemed to be Lord Byron's sort of masterpiece, really, and which he published many years, because they were written in cantos, right? So they sort of were released.
Yeah, you do a book at a time. And
Yeah.
then it's about 6 years. They were coming in.
It's like Game of Thrones.
Yeah, exactly, right. Yeah. Yeah. And like Game of Thrones, the final book was never written,
Is
I
it?
believe. Yeah. I mean, we've still got a chance with George R.R. Martin, but
Oh, it's the last 7 were missing. He said it was meant to be 24
Really?
cantos,
24?
miniature books in full, and there are sort of 60.
Has anyone round here read it?
I've read the whole thing.
Have you?
Oh, because I studied English. I
Really?
brought in as a little prop for you all
Oh, nice.
the
my
major
university
works.
edition of Lord Byron, and it's very
we did Byron, but at Sussex, you didn't ever read the text. You just had to talk about the historical context of what was happening.
The fact that
at
it
the
was
time.
it's nearly 500 pages of this book, and it's 8-line verses. It's really
Yeah, I remember
it's
looking
really
at it
substantial.
and finding it not quite hard to read.
But
at
the thing
time.
is, I think it's the most readable
But Byron's
epic
work.
poem.
Cariad, give us a random
Yeah.
All right, okay.
verse.
You, gentlemen, by dint of long seclusion, from better company have kept your own. At Keswick and through still continued fusion of one another's minds at last have grown. To deem as a most logical conclusion that poesy has reached for you alone, there is a narrowness in such a notion, which makes me wish you'd change your lakes for ocean.
Oh,
It's so bad!
Absolutely devastating slam. He spends a lot
Come
of
on, it's like when a 10-year-old does a little rhyming poem.
Was-
It's
did you
her
say-
vibes about.
Was Keswick
says
So is
Keswick.
it about Wordsworth, that?
It's about the Lake poets.
Is it?
Wordsworth, Coleridge, who were his big rivals. Southey, who was the poet laureate at the time, was
Yeah.
very stodgy. He spends a lot of this epic poem supposedly about Don Juan slagging off Wordsworth et al. And he mentions Keswick, home of the now world famous Pencil Museum.
Right.
But I would say Byron is probably the only one of those who's readily readable. Like pretty much anyone can pick
Compared
up.
to Wordsworth.
Wordsworth is so
Wordsworth
readable.
is much more readable.
I think Don Juan is because it's so funny,
Oh, right, I
it's
see.
so clear, and it's so entertaining. Like it's a brilliant story. It's all about this young nobleman, and it's the scrapes he gets into, and it starts with him, accidentally getting into an adulterous situation with a married lady when he's a young man, and then Canto 2 is massive shipwreck story, which is so
Because
exciting.
unlike Don Juan, he's not a Lothario. He keeps finding himself with older women and stuff like that.
Your
right?
honour.
It's basically Byron slightly excusing his own Lothario-ish behaviour by saying,
Yeah.
"Look, it's not like that, Your Honour. It just happened." And,
Yeah,
he sort
yeah.
of
I
gets
just
into
fell
scrapes.
into this room.
But the second book of it is all about this big shipwreck which Don Juan gets caught up in, and this is really cool because Byron's grandfather, Byron, again very aristocratic family, he was Lord Byron. His grandfather was a young man called John Byron. Maybe 50 years earlier.
Sorry, it's Joanne Byron. Yeah.
And he was in a shipwreck himself.
Oh.
There's this amazing book called The Wager, which is all about this English ship which got sunk in 1742.
Right.
I've just finished it, and one of the main sources of how it all went down, and there was cannibalism, there was mutiny, there was murder. One of the main sources is John Byron, who later became an admiral and got nicknamed Foul-Weather Jack because everywhere he went, the worst storms in the world happened to him. Like if you're on a ship with Lord Byron's grandfather, you were going to have terrible weather. That was his reputation.
So then, and then Foul-Weather Jack's son was Mad Jack Byron, who
Right.
was Byron's dad.
Yes.
And then Byron didn't seem to carry on the nickname
Everyone
tradition.
was called Jack or Mary. Yes, what we're learning here.
Yeah, but basically Byron took a lot of the shipwreck stuff from his grandfather's own book about the shipwreck. Like there's a bit where they eat Don Juan's dog, and it's a really sad story. And that had happened to his own grandfather.
Well, that did seem to be the thing about Byron, was that his poetry, as you're saying, that's laced with autobiography in it, and the Lothario stuff, which is what he was known for in his real world. People were sort of reading it almost in the way that, as we're talking, a new Lily Allen album has been released,
Yeah.
which just lays out the life that she's recently experienced with her now ex-husband.
Yeah.
It's just like, it's all the stories. It was like a gossip rag.
Are we saying that
basically.
Lily Allen is the modern day Lord Byron?
You know what? Fuck yeah, we are. Because that is a piece of genius. That album, the writing on that is so beautiful. The lyrics are unbelievable.
Also-
and I'll take her as modern day Byron.
Her dad was very famous.
Yeah,
so
Mad
she's-
Keith Allen. Come on. I don't think you'd object to that title either.
This is the most how do you do fellow kids way of describing Lord Byron's life and work. I'm sorry.
And her brother was in Game of Thrones. So
Oh, and they've slept together, haven't they? Lily Allen and her brother. Which is the other.
No.
Half brother, Your Honour.
That was Alfie Allen and Gemma Whelan. So not
sorry.
actually Lily Allen.
Sorry,
It was
yeah.
Gemma playing her sister.
I know. I
This is-
really like the Lord Byron as Lily Allen theory.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's great too.
He did have to flee England. Lily Allen's never had to flee England.
She's been living in New York. She fled New York,
Oh,
fled to
interesting.
America. She bought a big brownstone because he told her to buy it and encouraged her to get a
these
big mortgage.
These are the lyrics to the first
Yeah.
song, basically.
We're
That's not like
we're
this.
continuing Cariad's copyright corner here, but it's fine.
Does she have a club foot? Do we know?
She has a club. She's swam the Hellespont, the strait between Europe and Asia.
She dived into the canal in Venice,
She's a
famously.
huge fan of Greek independence. But Byron sort of, he had to flee England after his marriage fell apart, and he was accused of unnatural vices and of having appallingly mistreated his wife. And
Yeah.
there was this thing about his half sister. Did they have an affair?
he's-
But also, he was the only poet who properly walked the walk, and he went to Greece and funded the Greek navy for a while because Greece was trying to win its independence from the Turks.
That's
And-
track 5 on the Lily Allen.
But will the Greeks try and keep Lily Allen's lungs after she dies because she used her breath to speak out for Greek independence? Byron died in Missolonghi, which is this Greek town, promoting Greek independence, and he'd been there for years, backing the Greek. He was this huge fan of the Greeks, and he wrote some very rude stuff about Lord Elgin and nicking Greek treasures. And the Greeks kept his lungs, the source of his pneuma, the breath of the soul, and his larynx, and they were sort of put in an urn in Greece and they've disappeared.
Give back those marbles, we might get the lungs back. I think that's a fair swap.
Stop the podcast.
Stop the podcast.
Hi, everyone. This episode is brought to you by Airbnb.
Now, Dan, you're a holiday man.
I am a holiday man.
Dan, the holiday man, we call you in the office.
They do?
Yep.
Yep.
And when you go away, what are there any little travel rituals you have?
Yes, I try and not have a nervous breakdown as my children and wife insist of going to the toilet in the airport literally 2 minutes before final boarding is closing the doors on the airplane. That's a real skill, not to just break down and cry. I've really mastered it.
Really nice tradition to have in your family. That's lovely. I think one of the other traditions you might have is putting your home up on Airbnb. Am I right?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah. That's my preferred tradition, I would say. It's an amazing thing because you're going away, and with your house being listed and occupied, it means that you're earning extra cash for your holiday, so you can do all those extra things, like pay for a psychologist when you get back to sort out the mental damage that your family have inflicted on you.
So I think what Dan's trying to say here is, if you're listening to this and you live in a home, you already have an Airbnb, so you may as well list it on Airbnb.
Yeah, it really is an amazing thing to do. Do check it out, airbnb.co.uk/host. Do it now.
On with the podcast.
On with the show. Okay, it is time for our final fact of the show, and that is Andy.
My fact is, for several years in the 1920s, a beach in South Wales was the fastest place on the planet.
How can a beach be fast?
Well, good point.
I'm not surprised as someone with South Walian heritage.
Oh, yeah.
So you're Welsh, Cariad.
I'm half Welsh.
Yes,
That's- yeah.
I've never fully understood the extent to which you're Welsh, but
Well, my dad is Welsh.
well, there we go.
So I was born there, and I am called Cariad Lloyd.
I thought that I know
Extremely
that was,
Welsh
that was
name.
my clue. So, have you ever been to the Pendine Sands in Carmarthenshire?
Oh, Carmarthenshire. Yeah, I have actually. Yeah.
So, is this a stunningly beautiful beach?
Mate, the whole of the beaches in South Wales are the most beautiful beaches in the world.
Yes.
Sorry, Dan. I don't know if you're going to interject there with the beaches that you may be from, but the Gower Peninsula, all of that bit are stunning.
Absolutely. I wasn't trying to raise up or lower the Pendine Sands above or below any of the other beaches of South Wales, all of which
No, all
are
of
10
them.
out of 10.
Or Australia.
Or
where
Australia.
that's from.
Sydney ones are terrible, actually.
I'm sure they're fine.
Yeah.
You know, but the Gower. Oh my God.
Wow.
Absolutely.
Tell us more.
Well, there's this beach called the Pendine Sands, and the interesting thing about it is it's very long, and the sand is nice and compact and hard. And it was traditionally used for foot races, horse races, bike races. They started having motorbike races there in the early 20s, and they realised that, hang on, in the 20s, people were starting to get serious about breaking land speed records in a car. And the early records have been broken at a track called Brooklands, which is circular or ovoid.
Yeah.
And what you really need to break a land speed record is a very, very long straight track, because
Yeah.
you need a couple of miles to get up to top speed. You need a mile at top speed, and then you need another mile to slow down.
Turning those corners is only going to slow you down.
Exactly. And so they realized this beach is perfect to drive on because it's 7 miles of sand, and
Have
you can
been
drive
there,
along it.
Andy?
I went on it a few weeks ago.
Yeah?
And it's absolutely, it's amazing.
Of course it is. It's stunning.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah. But I thought that it's now property of the MOD.
It is. You can't walk on it during the week. I was there on a weekday, and there are loud dystopian announcements saying, "Do not walk on the beach."
Right.
You can go at the end by the cafe in the museum, which is where I went.
What do
But
they do on there?
They test weapons.
Yeah.
You know what the MOD are like? They're testing weapons. Yeah, they're not having cups of tea,
They're like,
James.
where's the most beautiful place in the country we can bomb?
Unbelievable.
So but there is this bit which you can go on, which is open to the public, and they've just opened a new museum there about the land speed records, and it's amazing. And they've got a brilliant display about the different kinds of sand and the diameter of the grains, which I found very interesting.
How were your family waiting for you to read all those tiny bits of information next to the pictures? Were they? Because you reminded me so much of my father on holiday.
They were in
and
the car.
all of us being like,
They were in the car.
he's still reading it. He's still reading the information plaques. But we spent 2 hours.
Don't touch the petri dishes.
But that's exactly why I went to the website for the museum, and it said if you rush, you can probably complete it in 2 hours. So I imagine
Gosh,
Andy's
Andy was
family
there for
were,
4.
yeah.
No, I did a new land speed record in that museum because people were getting a bit impatient. But
People were getting a tad impatient.
But this is where Malcolm Campbell, who's the sort of head of this amazing speed breaking family, I'm sure we'll talk about them. He broke the record at 146 miles an hour. His friend and rival, J.G. Parry Thomas, broke it in his car, Babs.
Oh,
Is that Welsh?
No, Babs is not Welsh. It's just the name Babs.
Oh, sorry. Parry Thomas was Welsh. And
Paddy Thomas, yeah.
he tragically was killed there during a land speed record attempt, instantly killed. And the action later moved to places like the Daytona Salt Flats.
Yeah.
As a result of that crash, I think.
Oh, really?
Basically, he was trying to get over 200 miles an hour, really. He was trying to get there or thereabouts. And they realised that when he died in that crash, probably this isn't the best place to go that fast.
Right.
Like, you need somewhere even flatter. And then they went to the Salt Flats, didn't they? And
And he got buried, and so did Babs. His car was buried as well.
Wow.
Babs was buried in the exact spot where the crash happened. So they literally dug a hole, put it down there, and it was buried there for about 42 years. And then someone petitioned to excavate it, to put it back together. And it now very occasionally sits in the museum, Andy.
I have seen it.
Wow.
You saw Babs.
Yeah. It's been lovingly restored.
Wow.
It's so cool. It's such a great museum. It's
Yeah.
so good.
But also, did you read about the heritage of Babs? It must have been there in the museum. Okay, so Babs went by a different name before. So that was a new name given to Babs because it was a new owner. It was originally called Chitty 4 because it was owned by a man called Count Zborowski, who was the inspiration for
Right.
Chitty Chitty
Chitty
Bang
Bang
Bang.
Bang.
what?
This was one of the cars that was the inspiration for Chitty Chitty Bang Bang.
Sorry, I just need a PRS moment. Bang, bang, chitty, chitty,
Oh
bang,
my
bang.
God.
Banana, we love you. Bang, bang, chitty, chitty, bang, bang. Okay.
There was Chitty 1, Chitty 2, Chitty 3, and then Chitty 4.
Chitty 1, Chitty 2,
Yeah.
Chitty 2, Chitty 4.
Chitty, 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 chitty.
Chitty 1 became the ownership of Arthur Conan Doyle's sons. They took ownership of that, and the other two went to other people. And number 4,
Crazy.
yeah. So that's what you saw.
You know who has the current British land speed record?
Bob Geldof.
I'm going to... Oh, actually, I think I might know it. Is it Freddie Flintoff?
It's
No.
not.
Oh, is it someone from Top Gear?
Is it? It's not
No.
Idris Elba.
Idris Elba.
Is it?
Oh, sorry, Bob Geldof is far off from Idris Elba.
They're both.
That's like...
They're both national treasures.
Exactly.
Oh,
exactly.
okay.
He broke it in 2015. He did 180 miles an hour
Wow.
for what they call the flying mile in a some kind of Bentley. I mean,
But he did it on that
on
beach.
the Pendine Sands.
Yeah.
I know. It's the UK land speed record. Like
Okay.
the current world land speed record is 760 something miles an hour. It's very, very fast.
Okay.
But yeah, Amy Johnson, when she flew from South Wales to New York directly, she took off from
Pendine Sands.
the Pendine Sands.
Wow.
I know.
Used to be a glamorous spot.
It used to be glamorous, and it lasted a very, very brief time.
So we talked about Malcolm Campbell.
Oh, yeah.
And then let's talk about some of the other family members. So his son was Donald Campbell, who was the only man to hold both the land and water speed records at the same time.
Wow.
And he was the one who famously died on Coniston in a water accident.
Lake District, Coniston Water.
Yeah.
I've actually climbed the Old Man at Coniston.
Yeah.
The same trip I went to the Keswick Pencil Museum.
Did you?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. And Donald has a daughter called Gina.
Yeah.
And she has broken the women's world
Wow.
water speed record. The Campbells just have this huge...
We've done dynasties today, haven't
It
we?
is dynasties.
This is
Don
dynasties.
Wales, Malcolm's grandson, has broken the record for the fastest lawnmower on the Pendine Sands.
Okay.
Who did that? Sorry.
He's a guy called Don Wales, and he's Malcolm Campbell's grandson.
He loves Wales so much. He was like, just call me Don
Wales.
Wales.
Don Wales.
Don Wales.
Don Juan and Don Wales. Yeah.
I think that is very British, isn't it? It's like our land speed record is so shit compared to the rest of the world. We're going to have to go lawnmowers.
We
the
have to go
lawnmower-
novelty.
Yeah.
It's 87 miles an hour, which is pretty good for a lawnmower.
Just a sit-on lawnmower.
Well, you do have to take part in a public grass cutting demonstration before the race. So it has to be a proper lawnmower.
You have to prove.
But that's got to have a different engine, right?
It's made from lawnmower parts.
No, I get that,
I
but
think
it's
the
not.
engine's different. isn't
Yeah,
it?
Yeah, it's got a massive rocket strapped onto it. But
The bit where the grass normally collects is now a fuel tank.
Yeah, I was
Is
gonna
that
say,
so?
Yeah, you
Okay.
can't. You can't be just getting up to 87 miles per hour on a normal. Oh, people be dying all over Surrey.
Imagine if that was a setting. What's
Yeah.
top speed? Let's try that.
It'd be awful.
fastest shed, also broken on the Pendine Sands.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
Well,
again,
the Pendine Sands are doing their best to keep these records coming, aren't they?
do you think it's faster or slower than the fastest lawnmower?
I think slower.
Slower because it's so
shed.
bulky.
Okay.
Well, I guess I'll go faster.
Dan's correct. 100 miles an hour is the fastest shed record, which
Right.
is pretty good.
Was it on a lawnmower? Did they
That's the
build it
thing.
around the lawnmower?
I don't know, but there's no shed demonstration. Like, you don't have to get a scythe out of it.
Was the lawnmower guy trying to put the lawnmower back into the shed when he went that fast?
Oh my goodness! Wow.
Very good.
Pendine Sands is
I know it's full of
Making the best of their large
full
flat
of fun.
surface.
But generally, if you're nearby, the museum is wicked. Land speed records are in a bit of a funk at the moment, I'd say.
Yeah.
So the last time the land speed record was broken was 1997.
Oh, I guess as the world is being slowly destroyed, it feels a bit
Well, yeah.
disingenuous to just go really fast.
They have tried to find a synthetic fuel for the Bloodhound project,
Right.
which is this just massive rocket they're trying to fire across the ground.
Right.
And it's, they were going to try and do 1,000 miles an hour with a slightly more eco-friendly version of it, but
'Cause
they just
yeah.
keep running out of money, and it's sort of parked for the moment. I mean, literally, it is parked.
But it's the era of like breaking records, like Guinness World Record. You know what I mean? Like I feel like we grew up with like that being a big thing. That was how
Yeah.
fast can you go? And now maybe we're like, we've stopped to think, should we do this?
How many
Maybe
followers you have?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it worth this?
Yeah.
Maybe we should all slow down.
Yeah.
There was a bicycle record, really interesting one that was set there.
Good, an eco record. Thank
yeah.
you, Dan. Thank you.
This was in 2013. This was Guy Martin. You know Guy Martin? He had this kind of-
he's a
crazy.
YouTuber.
yeah, he's a motorbike guy, and he's written a bunch of best-selling books and TV shows and so on. And he set a record for a bicycle slipstream record.
Okay.
Isn't that amazing? So he was going behind another vehicle, and then he used the slipstream, and that's when they started recording the time.
Is this faster or slower than, let's say, the Shed?
Give me the Shed again.
Shed was 100 miles an hour.
Okay.
Cycling
Well, what do you think then?
In a slipstream.
can't be 100 miles, even in a slipstream.
On a bicycle as well, right?
On a bicycle, if you're
It got to be slower than a shed.
not an e-bike.
Was it a line bike? Because they can go.
They do go too fast.
Really fast. Yeah, a bit unnerving.
I'll say slower than, but only just slower than
Okay.
the Shed.
Yeah. I think this might be a mine and Anna's buck, but I can't remember what it was.
Oh, right.
I think it was like 120 odd miles an hour. But
112.9
Oh,
miles
faster
an
than
hour.
the shed.
Yeah.
So it goes lawnmower, Shed, Guy
Bike.
Martin in a slipstream.
Yeah.
you do have electric car speed records, don't you? I think we're talking about
Yeah, are they
environmental.
fast?
I've got one from 1899. It was the first electric car to go over 100 kilometers an hour.
Wow.
It was called Le Jamais Content, meaning never satisfied.
Oh, I really thought it was something to do with ham. Sorry. I was like, oh, the
jambon content.
happy ham. Yeah.
I've seen a
Jambon
photo of
entente.
that. It's insane. It looks
Yeah.
absolutely bananas. That
Apparently, it was pretty tough to ride, and the muscles of his body and neck became completely rigid as he drove it because it was just all over the place. So obviously, they didn't have any stability or anything like that in those days.
they have just launched the fastest e-scooter on the planet.
Yeah.
It's
And
called.
you please mind out on the pavements because they are driving those things like crazy people.
Well, this one goes at 100 miles an hour.
Oh, God. Watch out.
Why do you need that?
Watch out, Piccadilly Circus. Watch out.
It's not a good idea. It's a really bad idea.
That feels like that's my daughter going to nursery in the morning
Yeah.
when I'm trying to catch up with her.
Those micro scooters
Yeah.
are fast.
They
It's
are.
called the Turbo. It's made of aerospace grade aluminium, and it has a range of 150 miles.
And I bet you some fucker would still not wear a helmet and be on the road with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Imagine being overtaken in the fast. You're driving in the fast lane. Someone behind you is on an e-scooter right up your back
Yeah.
bumper.
I've seen that in London. I've seen people on e-scooters like going so fast on the road. It's terrifying.
Yeah.
This is the future. You'll be soon saying, honey, I think we were just overtaken by a shed. Is that
So some Welsh records.
Great.
The number of people skinny dipping in a single venue was beaten this year on the Gower Peninsula.
Of course. What a lovely place to skinny dip. Wonderful. So
Do you want to guess how many?
130.
Close? No, not close.
Oh, I'm going to say 1,000. I'm going to say four figs.
Closer than that.
295.
413.
wow.
13.
Yeah.
And did it turn into an orgy afterwards, or was it
No,
polite?
it didn't. It was very respectable. They did it at 9 a.m. to stop any rubberneckers from turning up.
They can still get up early. Perverts know what an alarm clock is.
Hello. Morning wood. They're ready. They're primed.
Oh, it's 8:30. I simply cannot be leering at someone before 9 o'clock. I haven't had my cappuccino.
And recently, the longest ever tug of war game took place on a Welsh beach.
Now, when you say longest,
Yeah.
are we talking longest?
Duration? No, it is
Stretched
it's,
out.
It's the longest rope, so it doesn't have to be the most people. It's just the longest rope. Here's the question: was it longer or shorter than the longest suspension bridge in Portugal?
Oh no! Oh no! No, because I know this one.
Can I just say as well, as part of Club Fish, we're launching a quarterly quiz, and I can tell you, you're listening now. This is the kind of gold you're going to get.
You're going to love this.
You got to think about it logically.
There's no way logic can apply here.
Why have I found this suspension bridge?
Because it's very short. Because Portugal doesn't have any suspension bridges.
No. Or because I know the length of the rope,
Yeah.
and I'm searching for other things.
So they're the same.
They're the same.
Another Harkin
And it
switcheroo.
was the largest suspension bridge in the world until quite recently, and then it got overtaken by one in Southeast Asia.
Wow.
Yeah.
So the rope was that long?
How long do you have a length?
20 meters. No, it was 1,694 feet.
Is that two very strong people just
Two
leaning
teams
back? As in, could you hold that rope in the air?
2 teams of 50.
Oh, okay, that's
Was,
long.
but they're
Okay, that's a
Welsh, so they're going to be strong.
They've got to be strong. That's just a fact. There's nothing they can do about that.
lot. Karen, this is why
Naturally strong.
I always struggle to remember whether you're half Welsh or 150% Welsh.
Okay, that's it. That is all of our facts. Thank you so much for listening. If you'd like to get in contact with any of us about the things that we have said over the course of this podcast, we're all online on various social media accounts. I'm on Instagram, on @Schreiberland. Andy.
Instagram at Andrew Hunter M.
James.
Come and add me on LinkedIn.
And Cariad.
You can find me on Instagram at Cariad Lloyd.
Yeah, you can also find her in bookshops now. You got your new book out.
Yes, Lydia Marmalade and a Christmas Wish is available in paperback now. It's a book for ages 8 and up, set in Jane Austen times, featuring a mischievous winter sprite and a very hungry sausage dog.
Ooh. Nice.
Lovely.
There you go. Well, listen, if you want to write in anything about what we've said over the course of this podcast, we can all be reached via podcast@qi.com. Send your emails in there. They go to Andy. Andy often cherry picks those emails, which we then bring to our show. Drop us a line, which is part of our membership club, Club Fish. Go to our website, nosuchthing.com, to check out that and more. We've got merch. We've got an upcoming gig that you can get tickets to. Otherwise, just come back here next week because we'll be back with another episode. We'll see you then. Goodbye.